Okay. Let's see. Hi, sisters and brothers. My name is Evelyn. I felt like I should start this channel because I had a spiritual awakening about 6 years ago, and I started gathering my family together, and I was trying to explain to them, you know, what God was showing to me. I couldn't really explain it because I was kind of afraid at first when I came into my spiritual awakening, so I went away from it because it kind of spooked me. But then again, about 3 years later, 3 years ago, it happened to me again, and I couldn't get away from it. It was just so powerful, you know. And so I started researching, and I started investigating, and I started figuring out who I am. And that's what this subject is about. It's about knowing who you are. And how do you become aware of who you are? First, you have to examine yourself. You have to go back as a child. You know, you have to become acceptable of who you are, acceptance. You have to become aware of who you are, accept who you are, and then transform who you are. How do you figure out who you are? Go back as a child. You start examining everything that happened to you, everything that you ever encountered. Go back as far as you can remember. Examine it, accept it, then go on to your teenager years and go on to an adult and understand and analyze why and what caused you to do the things you do in life. If we understood that our whole life has been programmed, everything that you've been taught, everything from the child, from the day you were born, your life was programmed for you. You didn't have a chance to really create. The world was giving you ideas. You should go to school to be a lawyer, a doctor, a teacher, or whatnot, a rapper. These are the things that were presented to you. So that was what you was attracted to. Whoever, whatever, if it was a police officer or whatever, you was attracted to that life because you was presented that life. But say, for instance, you was presented the life of creation. You remember when we were a child, how we used to have a great imagination? Me and my nieces, we used to imagine we were driving in a car with our hats on and the drop top and the wind blowing. We was driving somewhere into the sunset in mountains or somewhere. And it was beautiful. But then as we get older, we kind of lose that imagination because of all the distractions that's put into our life to cause us to forget who we are, to cause us to forget our resting place. It's within. When you're going through all this stuff in the world that we're going through today, these people implementing masks and shots and fear. God said, I have not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So how in the world are we walking around in fear? If God said he has not given you that spirit, where have that spirit come from? It had to come from a different force. Because we don't supposed to be familiar with that spirit. How did we even come familiar with that spirit? It was because it was put into your face through TV, social media, school. All that stuff was implemented in your life. Your life was programmed. Now it's time to analyze your life, figure out who you are, go back as a child, and you got to figure it out. We got to figure it out because it's time right now. We are living in our last days, and the only way you can fight this war, because we're going through spiritual warfare, and the only way you can fight this war is through your mind. You cannot fight it no other way, no weapons, no nothing. The Bible said no weapons formed against me shall prosper. So you have to believe that. You have to speak it. Anything you say, you create. We are co-creators. The creator, God, the Most High is the creator, but he said we can do anything that he can do and then some. So where are we going wrong at? What's the problem? We too busy in this game and not playing the game. We just being the, what you call that? The practice person. So we got to start playing the game and start practicing the game. I just lost my thought. We got to stop playing the game and start practicing the game. So the whole thing is becoming aware of who you are, examining yourself, disciplining yourself, and correcting yourself. You got to become aware of who you are. And if we don't become aware of who we are, we're going to continue to be played. We're going to continue to be the practice guy. We're going to continue to follow along with a bunch of clowns that don't know what they're doing. Can't no man rule the world. If you read in the Bible, they asked for a king. And so God granted them a king. And that's why we're going through the chaos we're going through right now, because we didn't put our trust in God. We was asking for man help. Who is man that you trust in him? God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. So we have to start utilizing our power, start taking control of our power. You have to meditate. You have to go within yourself, correct yourself, accept who you are, and transform yourself. And the only way you can do that is by examining yourself, separating yourself from everybody else, and start understanding who you are, understanding your likes and your dislikes. Because how do you know you like to drink? That's because that's been presented to you. How do you know you like to smoke? You've been around people that's smoking all your life. We become who we hang around. They say what they say, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. So you become who you hang around. We have to change our circle, change what we look at, change what we listen to. All this stuff was planned against us. Everything, the music industry, television, all that stuff, it was planned to be used against us. And it's time to wake up. It's time to wake up and start fighting this war. And you cannot fight this war without using your mind. You have to become very strong-minded. If you listen and if you read the Bible, all God talk about is your mind. Don't be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. You have to renew your mind. And only way you can do it, you have to separate yourself from everything in this world that's distracting you. Go back as a child, start examining who you are, what you did, accept that, and start correcting it. And then speak about it, because the Bible also says we overcome by the word of our testimony. So we not testifying, we all sweeping stuff up under the rug. So that's why we constantly going through things that we go through in this world, because ain't nobody really being honest. We got to stop lying. We got to become honest with ourselves. And once we become honest with ourselves, we can be honest with whoever else. So the main thing is become aware of who you are, accept who you are, and then transform who you are. That's it for now. I love you guys. I'll be back with more videos. Thank you.